Have you ever noticed how the moment you step back, they suddenly start thinking about you? How the very absence of your presence becomes something they can't stop obsessing over? It's as if they're only able to see your true worth the moment you decide to pull away. Why is that? Why do they come running back when you create distance? This isn't some fantastical story. It's real. It's human nature at work, and it happens when you stop feeding their need for validation and start focusing on your own power. The moment you pull back, step into your strength, and create that space, something shifts. They begin to realize that your presence was more than just convenience. It was the very stability they didn't know they needed until it was gone. Imagine this. They wake up one day to a world that feels a little colder, a little emptier. The usual texts from you, gone. Your voice, silent. They try to fill the void with distractions, with other people, but nothing measures up. It's in these quiet moments, when they least expect it, that they start to truly understand what they lost. Your absence, once unnoticed, now becomes a mirror, reflecting back to them all the ways they took you for granted. But this isn't about playing games. As Stoics, we know that the real power lies in reclaiming control over ourselves, not others. This distance you've created, it's not to manipulate them, it's to build yourself. It's about rising above the need for their validation and stepping into your own value. By creating space, you force them to feel the weight of their own choices while you grow stronger in your absence. So, why do they come back? Today, we'll uncover 7 powerful reasons rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Together, we'll explore how distance, when paired with self-growth and independence, transforms the dynamics of relationships and makes them crave the very thing they once took for granted. Reason number 1. The power of self-respect. Imagine for a moment standing tall, not because anyone told you to, but because you know your worth. You've chosen to distance yourself, not in anger, not in bitterness, but with a quiet, resolute understanding that your value is not tied to how someone else treats you. This is the power of self-respect. It's the first step in reclaiming control over your life. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In reclaiming that power, you no longer allow others to define your worth. When you step back, it forces them to reflect, not just on what they've lost, but on who you are. The person they once saw as easily available, always there, is now someone they must respect, because you respect yourself. And here lies the essence of Stoicism. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. You cannot control how others view or treat you, but you can absolutely control how you respond. By stepping away, by honoring your own boundaries, you teach them a lesson without uttering a single word. They must now confront the reality of their actions. It's not about revenge. It's about standing firm in your dignity. So ask yourself, how are you reclaiming your power today? How are you showing the world and yourself that you deserve respect simply because you exist? Remember, self-respect is not a gift others give you. It's something you cultivate within. And when you do, the world can't help but notice. Reason number 2. The magnetic energy of growth. Think about it. People expect you to remain the same. They grow comfortable with the version of you they've come to know, predictable, reliable, always present. But when you embrace growth, when you actively work on becoming stronger, wiser, and more complete, you shatter their expectations. Suddenly, they're faced with someone new, someone they didn't see coming. This is the shock of unexpected growth, and it changes everything. Heraclitus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "The only constant in life is change, and it is in this change that your power lies. By choosing to grow, you no longer allow others to define who you are. You define yourself. Your time apart wasn't a pause, it was a recalibration. It was a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Whether it's through intellectual pursuit, emotional resilience, or physical transformation, your growth sends a clear message. You are no longer the person they once knew." Now here's the beauty of this process. Growth is not loud or boastful. It's subtle, but undeniable. It's in the confidence with which you now walk, the clarity with which you now speak, and the purpose with which you now live. And this, my friends, is where the magnetic energy comes from. You've changed, and people are drawn to change because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. Suddenly, they find themselves intrigued, curious, and yes, desiring what they can no longer fully grasp. So, how are you growing? How are you investing in yourself? Mentally, emotionally, physically? Remember, the magnetic energy of growth isn't about showing off. It's about becoming. And when you grow, you naturally draw others in. Not because you need their validation, but because they can't help but be captivated by the strength that comes from within. Reason number 3. The allure of self-sufficiency. Have you ever felt the quiet strength that comes from relying on no one but yourself? Self-sufficiency holds a powerful allure. When you stop seeking validation from others and become content within yourself, you radiate confidence and independence, making you naturally attractive. By standing firm in your own worth, you change the dynamic. You're no longer reaching out for approval, you're thriving in your own company. This inner peace, this sense of being whole, draws people to you. As Epictetus said, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourself." When you stop needing others for fulfillment, your self-sufficiency becomes irresistible. Ironically, the more independent you become, the more others want to be near you. It's not about playing games, it's about truly embracing your own growth and happiness. Self-sufficiency doesn't mean isolation. It means cultivating a life rich in your own pursuits, fulfilled by your own strength. So, how are you nurturing your self-sufficiency? When you live from a place of inner wholeness, the world can't help but notice and follow. Reason number 4. The envy of your new confidence. Have you noticed how true confidence commands attention without needing to speak? When you step back, focus on yourself, and build inner strength, those who once overlooked you now envy what they never appreciated. This confidence isn't about being loud, it's about knowing your worth without needing external validation. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Fear not death, but never beginning to live." By truly living with confidence, you become someone they aspire to be. Your growth unsettles them as they see in you what they lack. They once had the upper hand, but now your strength makes them question themselves. Your newfound confidence, built from within, shines a light on their insecurities. But remember, this isn't for them, it's for you. As Emerson said, self-trust is the first secret of success. You no longer need their approval because you trust in yourself. And that, my friends, is what makes you irresistible. So, how are you cultivating your confidence today? When you stand firm in your worth, the world can't help but notice. Reason number 5. The intrigue of unpredictability. There's a magnetic pull to mystery. When you become less predictable, you capture attention. People are drawn to the unknown. And when you step back, Breaking free from their expectations, they can't help but wonder, who is this new person? For so long, they thought they had you figured out, but now, your unpredictability challenges them. As Heraclitus said, you cannot step into the same river twice. You've changed, and they no longer know what to expect. This unpredictability forces them to pay attention, reigniting their curiosity and making them crave your presence in ways they never did before. Unpredictability isn't about playing games, it's about growth. When you evolve, others can't help but be intrigued, always wondering what comes next. As Alan Watts said, the only way to make sense of change is to move with it. And now, they're struggling to keep up with your changes. So, how are you shaking things up? Embrace the mystery. By becoming unpredictable, you make them realize they never truly knew you, and that's where the real intrigue begins. Reason number 6. The realization of what they've lost. There comes a moment when they finally grasp what they've lost. Your absence, once overlooked, now feels like a heavy void. It's here that they begin to understand your true value, something they took for granted when you were always there. While you focused on your growth and self-respect, they've continued as if nothing changed, but slowly, the silence becomes impossible to ignore. The calls, the support, the laughter, they're all gone. Seneca's words ring true. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Now they replay memories, realizing the depth of your impact. They see that no distraction can replace what you offered. As Marcus Aurelius said, loss is nothing but change. Your absence forces them to feel that change, to regret not valuing you sooner. But this realization isn't your weight to carry, it's theirs. You've grown stronger in the distance, while they're left with the truth of what they've lost. So, how have you used this time to grow? Understand this. Their regret doesn't diminish you. It highlights how much you've evolved into someone greater than they ever imagined. Reason number 7. The fear of losing you to someone else. Fear is a powerful motivator, and nothing drives it more than the thought of losing someone irreplaceable. As they watch, you grow stronger and more confident. A new fear grips them. What if someone else sees the value they overlooked? The idea of another person stepping in and cherishing you as they should have is almost unbearable. Epictetus reminds us, "He who is not a slave to fear is truly free." But they are far from free. Their fear isn't just about losing you, it's about someone else experiencing the best version of you, the one they ignored. This fear forces them to act. They now see that if they don't step up, someone else will. Yet, this is not your burden to carry. You've grown beyond them, and whether they return or not, you remain grounded in your strength and independence. So, reflect. What have you built for yourself? Their fear of losing you is simply a reflection of your undeniable worth, one that no longer depends on them. And so, my friends, we arrive at the truth. It was never about making them return. It was always about you. By stepping back, by choosing distance over dependence, you've allowed yourself to grow into the person you were meant to be. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing we truly control is ourselves, our actions, our growth, our inner peace. Everything else, including the actions of others, is beyond our command. When you focused on yourself, they began to see you with new eyes. The space you created allowed them to feel the weight of your absence and the depth of your worth. But remember this, their return is not your triumph. Your triumph lies in the strength, confidence, and self-sufficiency you've built. Whether they come back or not, it is you who has reclaimed your power. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. You've become someone stronger, more resilient, more at peace with yourself. And that, my friends, is your victory. Others may return, drawn by the magnetism of your growth, but you do not wait for them. You continue to rise, walking your own path with dignity and purpose. So, I ask you, how will you continue to grow? The journey does not end here. It is just beginning. Embrace the wisdom you've gained, live according to your values, and trust in your own strength. The world will notice, but more importantly, you will know that you have become the master of your own fate. Stay strong, keep growing, and never settle for less than you deserve. Your journey, your power, your life, these are yours to command. If you found value in this journey of self-growth and Stoic wisdom, don't miss out on more insights that will help you master your mind and your life. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism for powerful lessons that guide you to live with strength, resilience, and purpose. Join our community, and together we'll continue to rise above life's challenges, one Stoic principle at a time.